Okay, so after the whole debacle with Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve had another son. His name was Seth. And when Seth grew up, he had a son named Enosh. And then when Enosh grew up, he had a son named Kenan. And then he had a son named Mahalalel. And then he had a son named Jared. And he had a son named Enoch. And Enoch had a son named Methuselah. And Methuselah had a son named Lamech. And Lamech had a son named Noah. This is the story of Noah. Now, the problem was in Noah's day was that all the people were evil. They were all liars and they're mean and they're jerks and cheaters and just all around evil people. And so God was thinking, you know what? I made people and I thought, we could walk and talk together in the Garden of Eden forever and live happily ever after, but their hearts are evil. So I'm just gonna start over, says God. That's what he thinks. He's like, I'm just gonna start over. The only person in the entire world I like is Noah. So hey, Noah. And Noah's like, hey God, what's up? He's like, listen, I'm sick of these people being evil all the time. So I'm gonna start over. I'm going to flood the world. What? Yeah, I'm going to flood the world and I'm going to start over with you and your family because you guys, you're cool. Well, thanks for thinking I'm cool, but that's kind of sad for everyone else. Like, yeah, but you know what? They had it coming. They're evil and I've tried to talk to them, but they've been evil. So here's what you're gonna do. I wanna save you and your family. So listen carefully. Okay, I'm listening. You're gonna build a big boat, like bigger than you can even imagine. Like think about a boat and then like 1,000 times bigger. Build a big boat for you and your family and for all the animals in the world. Because you know what? The animals, they're cool. They didn't do anything wrong. You're going to save the animals. And then I'm going to flood the world and get rid of all the evil people. And then life will be good again. We'll start over. How's that sound? Noah's like, okay, God, whatever you say, let's do it. So then Noah builds a big boat. Huge, absolutely massive. And he starts gathering all the animals. So he's got some swans he'll put in there. What else do we have? Some monkeys, all the animals in the world that he can find. Some giraffes he'll put in the boat. Bunny rabbits, some coos. Get in the boat. Tigers, donkeys, kittens, elephants, lions, bears, just all the animals in the world. He fills up the boat with all the animals. And all the evil people are like making fun of him. They're like, what is this crazy doing with this huge boat and all these aminals? He's just crazy. He's a crazy man and we're gonna make fun of him because we're evil and we're jerks. And Noah's like, well, you know what? I'm just doing what God says. I'm a godly man. And like, God, whatever. Nerd. So then Noah, he fills the boat with his family. So he's got Noah's wife, his 3 sons, and his 3 sons' wives. They go in the boat too for the journey. Yay. Then the sky starts getting darker and darker and darker. And it begins to rain. And Noah's like, oh, time for me to go. And he hops in his boat. And while Noah and all of them are in the boat, the waters rise up and they wash away all the evil people. Goodbye. Shouldn't have been evil. Sorry. And it rained and rained and rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And so in the Bible, when it says something happened for like 40 days and 40 nights, it's the same as us saying like, oh, it happened like forever. So it rains forever and ever and ever. And so the waters rise up and up and up and up, and they keep rising until all the land is gone and there's nothing but ocean. And now Noah and his family are on the waters that are over all the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, for forever. And then after forever, the sky began to clear and it stopped raining. And Noah was like, well, the earth is all water now. I'm gonna see if there's any land anywhere where we can land this boat and go back to the earth if the water's gone. So first he sends out a raven, and the raven flies around, but he can't find anywhere to land, so he goes back to Noah. And the raven's like, there's nowhere to go, there's no land. So Noah's like, okay. And then a while later, he sends out a dove. And he's like, go see if there's land. And the dove's like, okay. So the dove flies around and around and around, and he sees the top of a tree sticking out from the water. And he goes and lands there. And he never goes back to Noah. And so Noah's like, oh, obviously he found a place to land. So that means the flood waters are going away. So he tells his fam, hey fam, and they're like, hey Noah, let's go find the land. So then they travel around and around and around, and they find some land to land on while the floodwaters keep going down and down and down. And then after the floodwaters go down and down and down, Noah comes out of the ark and they find out they're actually on top of a mountain. This is called Mount Ararat. And so he's like, hey family, we're back on the land. So he comes down and his family comes out of the ark and they're like, yay, we're back on the earth. And Noah and his family and all the animals come out and they repopulate the earth. And the little kittens, they can be there for their family. And then the donkeys, all the animals come out and spread over all the earth, all over again. And God comes back and says, thanks Noah and Noah's family for saving all my animals and for being good people and starting the world all over again. And to promise that I'm not going to do this ever again, God created rainbows. So every time you look up and you see a rainbow, that's God's promise that he's never gonna flood the earth again. And so that is the story of Noah and the ark. Oh, this is called an ark, by the way. So that is the story of Noah and God and the flood. See you all next week.